Um, but Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly.
Let me paint you a picture of the latest drama swirling around Whoopi Goldberg, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. It's a wild tale of accusations, lawsuits, and a hefty dose of hypocrisy, depending on who you ask. The story kicks off with Whoopi, a longtime co-host on The View, finding herself in hot water after making some eyebrow-raising comments about Elon Musk. According to The Buzz, she tossed out a claim that didn't just ruffle feathers, it sparked a $900 million defamation lawsuit from the billionaire himself. Joe Rogan, never one to shy away from calling it like he sees it, jumped into the fray, tearing into Whoopi and her platform for what he calls a pattern of unchecked misinformation. And from there, things only got messier. So, what exactly did Whoopi say to set this whole thing off? Reports suggest she made a statement linking Musk to something damaging, serious enough that Tesla's stock allegedly took a hit almost immediately after her words hit the airwaves. The specifics of her comment are murky in the retelling, but the fallout is crystal clear. Musk wasn't about to let it slide. His legal team swooped in, claiming her remarks didn't just bruise his ego. They threatened his reputation with investors and business partners, potentially costing him big financially. For a guy who's built an empire on innovation and public trust, that's not a small accusation to shrug off. The lawsuit argues that Whoopi's words carried weight far beyond a casual opinion, and now she's facing the consequences. Joe Rogan, meanwhile, couldn't resist weighing in. On his podcast, he didn't hold back, accusing Whoopi of using her platform on The View to push false narratives without a shred of evidence. He painted her as someone who's quick to lob bombs at public figures, but cries foul when the tables turn. According to Rogan, this isn't just about one offhand comment, it's a habit. He pointed to her recent claim that Biden could round up Republicans and toss them in jail as another example of her tossing out wild statements like confetti, expecting the network to shield her from the backlash. Rogan argued that Whoopi's been coasting on this kind of rhetoric for years, appealing to what he calls low information blue no matter who types, think older housewives who are perpetually ticked off at the world. It's a biting characterization, but Rogan's never been one for subtlety. The courtroom scene is where things really heat up. Picture Whoopi walking in, maybe expecting this to be just another day of sparring on TV, only to realize she stepped into something far bigger. Reports say she broke down in tears during the proceedings, admitting she never thought her words would land her in this kind of mess. To some, it might have looked like genuine regret and emotional unraveling from a woman caught off guard. But Rogan? He wasn't buying it for a second. He called it a calculated move, a last-ditch grab for sympathy after realizing the legal stakes were real. In his eyes, Whoopi's tears were less about remorse and more about self-preservation, a celebrity scrambling to dodge accountability after years of skating by. Let's rewind a bit to how this all started. Yesterday, or at least in the timeline of this unfolding saga, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. Side note, he's made it clear he's not here for any flack about the kid's name, so let's leave that alone. Somewhere in the mix, Whoopi's comment about Musk dropped, and it wasn't long before the billionaire fired back. That $900 million lawsuit wasn't just a flex, it was a warning shot. Musk's team claims her words had an immediate ripple effect, with Tesla's stock dipping as investors caught wind of the controversy. For a company valued in the billions, even a small dip can translate to massive losses, and Musk's not the type to let that slide quietly. The suit's not just about money, though, it's about sending a message. You don't get to tank someone's reputation without proof and walk away unscathed. Rogan seized on this as a perfect case study in media double standards. He argued that Whoopi and her ilk on The View thrive on tossing out spicy takes with zero backup, knowing the show's format doesn't demand rigor. It's all about the viral moment, the outrage, the ratings boost. But when those words spill over into real-world damage, like a stock hit or a sullied reputation, suddenly it's all shrugs and backpedaling. Rogan's take? If a conservative pundit pulled the same stunt, the media would be screaming for blood, retractions, apologies, maybe even a canceled career. Yet when it's Whoopi, the response is softer, more forgiving. He's not wrong that there's a pattern here. Accountability seems to shift depending on who's in the hot seat. Whoopi, for her part, tried to douse the flames by claiming her Musk comment was just a joke. No harm meant, just a little quip that got blown out of proportion. Problem is, no one's buying it, least of all Rogan or Musk's legal team. Rogan called it a weak cop-out, pointing out there was no wink, no laugh, no hint of humor when she said it. It was delivered straight-faced with the confidence of fact, and only now, with a lawsuit looming, does she want to play the just kidding card. Musk's lawyers aren't laughing either. They're arguing a statement that big can't be waved off as a gag, especially not when it's tied to tangible financial fallout. If they can prove her words move the market, this joke could cost her dearly. This whole mess has Rogan taking aim at more than just Whoopi. He's got The View itself in his crosshairs. He slammed the show's producers for letting their hosts run wild, churning out controversy without a fact-check in sight. It's a machine built to stir the pot, he says, and when the pot boils over, they act surprised. He brought up how the panelists often dodge real scrutiny by claiming their words were twisted or taken out of context, but in his view, that's a flimsy shield. The show's own defense that they're backed by ABC News and should be trusted over, say, a podcaster like him, only fueled his fire. Right after Whoopi leaned on that line, she dropped another whopper, and Rogan was quick to pounce. If ABC's so rigorous, how do these clunkers keep slipping through? There's a bigger point Rogan's driving at here, and it's worth digging into. He sees this as a symptom of a warped media landscape where accountability's a sliding scale. Outlets pick their targets based on politics or clout, not principle. A false claim from one side might get a slap on the wrist, a quiet correction buried days later, while the other side faces a full-on pile-on. Rogan's not saying Whoopi can't have opinions. He's saying if you're going to sling mud that sticks, you better have the receipts. And when that mud hits a guy like Musk, someone with the resources and resolve to fight back, it's not just a PR headache anymore. It's a courtroom brawl. Musk's team is playing hardball too. They're not just leaning on hurt feelings, they're pulling data, talking to investors, and building a case that ties Whoopi's words to Tesla's bottom line. If they can show her comment triggered a measurable drop, this lawsuit could balloon into a landmark clash over free speech versus financial harm. It's not about silencing her. It's about proving that words have weight, especially when you've got a megaphone like The View. And while Whoopi might have thought this would blow over like past controversies, Musk's not letting it fade. This isn't a Twitter spat, it's a legal slugfest where facts, not feelings, will call the shots. So where does that leave Whoopi? On the ropes if Rogan's take holds water. Her courtroom breakdown didn't sway him, and Musk's war chest means she's up against a foe who doesn't bluff. She's not the only one in the spotlight, though. The View itself is catching heat for fostering this kind of loose-lipped culture. Rogan's framing it as a wake-up call. You can't keep tossing bombs and expect no shrapnel. As for Musk, he's not just defending his name. He's flexing on a system he sees as rotten, full of psychopath wizards, gaming it for control. Rogan cheers that part, seeing it as a rare win for pushing back against the noise. What about the rest of us? It's a messy tangle, free speech, media bias, corporate power all crashing together. Is Whoopi getting a raw deal, or is this long overdue reckoning? Should talking heads face the music when their words tank stocks or torch reputations? There's no clean answer, but the stakes are real. Musk's $900 million gambit isn't pocket change, and Whoopi's tears won't pay the bills if he wins. Rogan's betting she's finally met her match, and he's not shy about saying it's about damn time. Whether you buy that or not, one thing's clear. This fight's got legs, and it's not fading anytime soon. What do you think? Fair game or foul play?